Stream of consciousness. Let it fly. It is what it is. Fuck YouTube. Free thought. Maybe talking some truth, maybe talking some shit. Opinions that matter, opinions that don't even fucking matter. Well, there's only one way to sum this up. This YouTube channel, it's whatever. And that's the way I like it. Don't be scared. Just fucking build. I want to give this to the people out there who are proud nerds. People that are a little bit or a lot different from most, but you care about learning more than most. You understand what I'm saying? The people that love to read and are book smart, as well as the people out there who are street smart, but just above the average hustler. Now, believe me, what makes the world go round is diversity, 100%. However, it can still be a diverse world with more intelligent people, 100%. Because intelligence is measured in IQ, and IQ goes into degrees and all of this other stuff. You know what I mean? You can have a 100 IQ, 120, 125. There's levels to this shit. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, nobody is actually stupid. It's just a degree of intelligence. I mean, case in point, I used to work at a job that paid about maybe $35 an hour. Now, it was a job that if you do the wrong thing, you could actually get electrocuted and killed. However, there was a lot of people working that job that really didn't understand the first thing about the job at all. They just came there and just put a couple of wires together and said, you know what, job done. That's it. They never got electrocuted. And not to mention, they actually did fix the problem. So the thing is, you could have your college degree all you want, but it doesn't mean that you're the smartest person in the room. There's a guy without a degree and he's like, well, you know what? I can still do the job. I just understand it a different way. So what I want to convey here, especially to the people who are nerds, who feel a bit out of place, who feel like their thinking is ahead of everyone else and they just don't fucking fit in. Oh God. Some days in your life, you're going to run into people from quote unquote the hood. All right. Now, I grew up in Red Hook projects where they was shooting damn near at least every night or every other night. And then we moved to Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, which at the time was not the nice and beautiful Bedford-Stuyvesant that it is today. It was still kind of fucked up, but it wasn't as bad as Red Hook. My point is, I've lived in dangerous neighborhoods, still never fitting in. Why is that? Well, one, as my father who had to actually tell me this, I didn't realize that a lot of kids don't have fathers around. See, that's the thing. When you always have, you don't know what it's like to not have. You understand? So you think it's normal. I also had a mother who really, really cared about me. You understand? So just like that, my upbringing was different than most children in the entire borough of Brooklyn. You see where this is going, right? I'm already not fitting in. And so what happens is when you finally run into kids from the neighborhood or what have you, they know you can live there, but they know you're not like them because of how you think. And they know how you think because you're a kid and you'll say things. You'll say what you think. And they'll be like, you're weird. That doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. And so then, since you are ostracized, you go upstairs, you go to your mother and you say, nobody wants to play with me. And your mother might be like, well, why? And you'll say, well, they just don't want to play with me because they said they don't like me or they said I'm weird. And any parent who really gives a shit, they'll say, if they don't like you, then the hell with them. You understand what I'm saying? Any good parent will tell a kid this. You know why? Because you have to learn to accept who you are. And you must learn your independence. You must learn that your life is not predicated on the people in the neighborhood. It's not. It's not. Sure, you can live around a whole bunch of gangsters and all of that other stuff, and these people can possibly cause you or your family bodily harm, but at the end of the day, if you don't take care of you, then they never have to lay a finger on you. You'll fuck around and kill yourself by worrying and everything else. You understand what I'm saying? So when people don't really like you at a young age, It sets the tone for the rest of your life. And just like that, you start getting used to being called weird and thinking different than most people. I mean, it bothers you at first because we're not really meant to not have friends. We're social creatures. I'm no different. I wanted friends. I love friendship, but it just wasn't in the cards for me. Being social just didn't work for me, and I wanted it to work so badly because like I said, I genuinely love listening and talking to people. But I found that I can be the greatest listener on the planet, but once I talk, it's kind of out of the box. It was other people, including my parents, that had to tell me that the subjects that you talk about are not normal in your neighborhood. The subjects that you want to talk about are for academics. I said, what the hell is that? What's an academic? Well, it's somebody that really cares about academics. They go to colleges and stuff like that. You see, the thing is, you talk about what doctors and physicists talk about. And people in the neighborhood, they don't know anything about that. You see, to be what they call a nerd is not just perceived as weird or crazy. When you're in a bad neighborhood, it's perceived as weak. You're not like them, even though you're in the same neighborhood as them. I can get shot just like you. I know drug dealers just like you. Matter of fact, we're all friends with the same drug dealer. What are you talking about? But that's the thing. You find out very fast that, you know what? I'm different. And they're letting me know that I'm different. And so I have no choice but to accept the fact that I'm different, because the last thing you want to be in the neighborhood is a fake ass motherfucker. You're not going to be respected. And I knew not to try. And you know what's crazy? You know why I knew not to try? Because my mother told me that thing that I told you earlier. If they don't like you, if they don't want to play with you, the hell with them. Just like that, I knew. Be me. Be real. You understand? Now, the thing that nerds or people that are on a different wavelength tend to run into growing up in the neighborhood, or when you're around people that grew up in a bad neighborhood, you tend to run into the whole you don't know what it's like, or you're not real, or basically you're not a real nigga. If you're a nerd, that's a compliment. And I mean, believe me when I tell you, it seems that there's more niggas than nerds. It really does. It seems that way. But honestly, I think what there's a number of ignorant people, niggas, and then there's an additional number of people that are actually bright, but they want to be niggers. So that adds to the ranks of niggerdom. You understand what I'm saying? And then there's people like me who can sit back and look at the whole thing and say, okay, you people are just not programmed correctly. See, the thing is this, what people from the hood don't realize, when they run into somebody that has any kind of intelligence, anything that makes them feel dumb, what those people don't realize is that you're not supposed to be a nigger. You're not supposed to be ignorant to the world. You're not even supposed to live in a fucking neighborhood where there's so much shooting that you can't even run to your window on a certain time of day. You're supposed to have a father in your life just as much as you're supposed to have a mother that loves you. You're not supposed to live in a messed up apartment. The very fact that you live in the projects doesn't mean that your apartment has to be roach ridden and clothes all over the place. The projects are just buildings. Your apartment does not have to look like shit. That is the measure of the niggas that live in the apartment. Do you understand what I'm saying? So to the nerds out there, understand, when you are challenged by people from the hood and they say you're not real and just look at the source. The source doesn't realize that it was not supposed to be in the situation that it was in. These are human beings that were put in a really bad situation that they had to survive in. The same as any child that didn't have a father. The same as any child that was abandoned by their parents. What does that do to a human being? It doesn't matter the color. What does that do to a human being? Think about it. Think about it. What if I did not have a father in my life? And as I sit back and I think about that shit, the answer that I can come up with, and it's the most truthful answer I can give you, I don't know. Because I can't see it. I can't imagine it. I can't even relate to that shit. But yet, fatherless children, men and women are legion. However, more men have been stepping up over the last decade. Men are doing better. Now it's the women that need to actually follow suit. There are more vindictive women now than what there were before. And the fact that you're women does not give you a pass to be so damn emotional. Instead of thinking about yourself, think about the child that did not ask to be here, but that could be a great human being, just like every other child can be a great human being. And your vindictive behavior toward the father, or even the father not being in the child's life, is ruining one of the hopes of this planet. But off that, if you're an intelligent person and you're from the neighborhood or the hood or what have you, do not base your persona on where you come from. I love Brooklyn. I love the way Brooklyn is spelled. I love how it sounds. I love it on my shirt. When I was in Japan, I let people know I'm from Brooklyn. Brooklyn to me is home. But at the end of the day, my persona, the person that I am in my heart and my soul, it's not a place, it's a spirit. I love, that's who I am. I'm a loving person. And the other thing I am is a person that cares. And I'm a reader. And I love to know. That's my spirit. And ignorant people will make you think that you're stupid for not wanting to be ignorant. Ignorant people will try to make you feel inferior because you know things. So with that being said, everybody out there who calls himself a nerd or who is above average intelligence in comparison to the people around them, okay? That's key, all right? Embrace it. Be exactly who you are. I will tell you, just like my mother told me, if you don't fit in, trust me, they will make it known that you don't fit in. Good. It's lonely, but you are on a different path. And the universe or God or those people that you're around, they are giving you the sign. You must walk on a different path and you have no choice. However, it does not have to stay lonely. Just know that there's other people out there just like you. And while you're in your travels, while you're on your path, try to find your tribe. Try to find the other people that really get you. That's your family. And once you find your family, it could be one member, it could be two members. If you can get your hands on one member, yeah, you guys will hold on tight to each other. You will. But at the end of the day, to all the nerds out there, to all the intellectuals, or to all the people that just like to read or think about or talk about weird things, to all the people that have a dark sense of humor, to all of the people that just don't look cute. That was me too. I wasn't the cute kid, you know, I was the funny looking guy, all that other shit. Oh boy, it just didn't. It was always something wrong with me when it came to everybody else. I can't never say fuck them because I'm a loving person. I had to learn to love myself first. So, to all you fucking nerds out there, onward and upward, you know what I mean? Change the world, because that's just what the hell we do. And as far as the ghettos and the niggas, humans that are glad to call themselves ignorant savages, just like people that are proud to call themselves white trash, try to make it so those people begin to slowly realize that their living conditions are wrong. Try to put something in the neighborhood that'll elevate their intellect. A library is a good damn choice, complete with people there who will gladly show people how to read, and then everything else will take care of itself. Because if you study history, you'll remember that the white slave master never wanted the black slave to ever read. The scriptures in the whip are basically what kept the slave in line. But if that slave ever learned how to read the scriptures, then he would have found out that he should have never been a slave in the first place, and that he is, just like that white man, a child of God and deserving of respect. And no man is another man's slave. White trash, niggas, ignorant people, what have you. If you don't want to know, if you don't want to read, then you're fine with being a slave to ignorance and a ghetto. that doesn't love you back. Hey, if you guys made it to the end of that video, listen, I'm giving away free, yes, free copies of my new graphic novel, Isis Omega. Drop me an email at tyrfree92973@gmail. Provide a name and an address and I'll send you out a copy. You can also purchase the book on my website at tyrfree.com for desktop and laptop only, and tyrmobile.com for cell phones only. People, your support means the world. Peace.